It's Bree, and I have a story for you. Since I am currently unemployed and I have all this free time on my hands to create content for you guys, I just felt like in order to avoid making bad decisions, it just makes sense to come on YouTube and tell you guys all the stories of all the bad decisions I used to make. Speaking of bad decisions and being unemployed, one of the most popular story times that I have done on my channel, and one of the stories that I know everybody pretty much loves to hear, are sugar daddy stories, okay? Now, previously I did a sugar daddy story telling you guys how I scammed as a sugar baby, and this story time I'm gonna tell you guys how I got scammed by a sugar daddy. Now, before I even go ahead and get into this story time, you already know what you need to do. Go ahead and click that red button and subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell for notifications, because I know after this story you guys are gonna want to hear from Bree all the time, every time I upload. So basically this story time takes place like 2 years ago, and this is when I was living like in a loft downtown, and my rent was like, okay, I had like just moved out of my parents' house. I did not know what responsibilities were. I did not understand, and I still don't really understand the concept of paying bills. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean my money goes to like a roof over my head, like, and every month? Rent was super duper high. I was not getting enough hours at work, or maybe I was getting enough hours at work, I just did not know how to manage my money. But nonetheless, I'm on the sugar baby site and I'm contacting guys after guys after guys after guys, and I'm getting all these offers that don't even cover like one check. Like, the offers that I were getting were less than what I was already making, and so obviously that was discouraging. I remember this guy was from New York. That's what his profile said, that he was from New York and that he does a lot of traveling. And honestly, the crazy part is that he messaged me. So I'm like, finally, like, I'm doing all of this hunting and I'm getting all these Splenda daddies. Hopefully this guy messaging me is, you know, a little more serious and has a little more coin, if we're just being true tea right now. So I'm like, okay, you're coming to LA, that's cool, that's this and that. But like, I have bills that need to be paid, so what did you have in mind for like allowance? Like, I was even offering to fly to him. Like, I was about the money, okay? So one of the things he says is, oh, I want to do gifts. And I'm kind of like, okay, maybe I can get a few things from this guy that I could like resell on Depop or something like that. And then when he gets into the city, I can get him for that money. Like, if he comes here and does not want to give me money, then I'll completely like wave the white flag. So I'm just like going along with the program, because so far this is like way too good to be true, and I don't want to ruin it by coming off like greedy, even though I am. So one of the things that he tells me is, yeah, like, I'll buy you whatever you want. Go on the Macy's website right now. Literally like that. I'll buy you whatever you want. Go on the Macy's website. Well, I don't want nothing from Macy's. So I was kind of like sending him links, acting like I didn't understand what he meant, even though he kind of made it clear, like Macy's.com. So I'm sending him links from like Zara. I'm sending him links from like Nasty Gal. And I'm like, oh, these boots, they're looking pretty cute. And he's pretty much like, no, hun. I said Macy's. Like, I only have a credit card for Macy's. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, I couldn't find anything, you guys. I ordered like a prom dress. Literally, it was like a prom dress. Like, I don't know where I thought I was gonna wear it. I would never want to be that young again in my life, because I was just really stupid, okay? So I got a prom dress and I got like these Steve Madden heels. Lord have mercy. And when graduation season came around, everybody was in those heels. I was just like, oh my God, like, it cannot get more basic than this. Here was another red flag. I picked my prom outfit, basically, and he goes, oh yeah, and I'm gonna order a few things for myself. What's your address? So he gets like the Samsung smartwatch, and then he gets a cologne for himself, like a designer cologne for himself. And then yeah, it was due to be sent to my house. And then the conversation progressed, and I'm like, okay, I guess he's kind of real. Like, he just bought me like $350 worth of stuff. Like, okay, like, I guess I'll agree to the room, you know, because the conversation was still coming up. I'm like, well, why would I go to the room? Like, well, what's in it for me? Believe me, like, every opportunity to turn back to money, I was turning it back to money, because my rent, like, so he's like, no, like, I'm real. I just feel more comfortable, like, giving you the money in your hand, like, especially because now that I know you have something of mine, it just makes more sense to do this exchange in person. Something that, like, honestly, if you guys have been on Seeking Arrangement and you have tried the sugar baby thing, what he said to me was not like response that was unexpected or bizarre or weird. It was like pretty common, like, finesse response. Like, if you want something so bad out of somebody, you're gonna be willing to bend in order to get that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, let's practice this trust exercise. You say you're gonna be here, I believe it. And here's another reason why I believed it. He didn't just get a room at the JW Marriott downtown, right by the Staples Center. He got it on the top floor, like the 22nd floor, okay? So I was really like, oh, he got money. Like, and if you guys live in LA, you know that the JW Marriott, their pool is on the roof. So the reservation's set. He tells me he's in Canada and he's gonna be coming from Canada after his business trip straight to LA. This was like a Thursday. The reservation was for Friday through Sunday morning. Here's the first thing that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting to pay $100 security deposit. I was expecting to meet him there. And when I got there and he wasn't there, I was kind of like, just like, ooh, I don't know if I want to pay this $100 because I'm looking to you to get money, and now I have to spend money to see you, and you were already supposed to be here. And I was just like, ooh, so what do I do? And then he's like, okay, we'll just go up to the room. Okay, well, they want me to pay. And eventually it just got to the point where it was like, okay, like, so can you just pay for it and I'll reimburse you when I get up there? And I'm like, well, you already really haven't agreed to money. So if I pay for this, maybe I can guilt you into more money. Like, you guys gotta understand how I was thinking, okay? He was finessing me, but I was trying to master my art of finesse, and obviously I had none. So I go up, I reluctantly put my debit card, I'm like, charge it. Probably had like $20 in my account after that. So there's that. I get the room key, go to the room, and then I'm in the room by myself for like 2 hours. Just in the room. I have no say-so to order room service. So I'm like, well, this is luxurious. Around like 10:30, I'm like, okay, this is an experience. Like, everything looks gorgeous. Like, the LA night scene is lit down here. I cannot experience this by myself. I hit up my best friends. My best friends come over and we start, like, they come over with champagne and we start turning up, like a soft turn up, because we don't know if they're gonna spend the night or if they're gonna leave, but we're already making plans. Like, okay, so are we gonna throw a party here? Like, what's gonna happen? And we're jumping on the bed and we're looking at each other like, wait, isn't this kind of weird? Like, you've gotten no text back whatsoever. I'm like, dude, like, if I call him, no reply. If I text him, no reply. Like, what else was I supposed to do? Like, I'm not gonna be in here by myself. 11:30, almost midnight rolls by. All of us are tipsy and we're like, okay, I'm kind of ready to go outside. Like, I'm kind of ready to go to the bar. What's happening? And I was just like, question mark, right? And finally he texts me back and he's like, look, I don't know what's going on. I've been detained here in Canada. They're taking me to the back. I just didn't want to, like, leave you in the blue. So I'm just touching base with you to let you know. It's like, you're already supposed to be here. And now you're telling me 30 minutes into the next day that you're being detained in Canada? At this point, I was just like, whatever. Me and my best friend, I distinctly remember, we wake up in the morning, we start the day off with tequila and pineapple juice, and we're just up there on the roof and we're like, so what's up with this guy? And we're just scanning like all the different scenarios, because literally the last message I got from him was, I'm detained in Canada, I'll talk to you when I can. And honestly, That whole Saturday goes by, luxury. We go to the spa, like literally, like it was the sweet life of Bree at the JW Marriott. So I lived my best life all the way up until Sunday, when the pumpkin deteriorates and it's time to go back to being Cinderella. I go back to my crappy loft, my crappy life. I'm just bamboozled. I literally felt bamboozled. I'm like, okay, on one hand, me and my best friend, like, we created great memories. Like, this is gonna be like a great story to tell down the line, but like, what is up with this guy? Nothing really went according to plan. Like, yeah, I enjoyed that weekend, but nothing went according to plan. And on top of that, I have these packages coming, some of which are for him, and I don't know what to do with them. Like, I was literally caught in a dilemma, because imagine going, you're flexing, you're on Instagram, you're on Snapchat, oh yeah, this is what's going on, this is what's going on, and then you go back to your roommates and they're like, oh yeah, so did you get money? Oh no. No. Being finessed and being scammed on top of that was another thing that I just did not know how to handle. And I was just in a dilemma. Like, I was in a dilemma. Like, his packages actually came. I had to go back to work, back to reality. I'm stuck with these valuables that now I have to either figure out, is he gonna get them, or am I gonna have to sell them? And obviously I did not want to resell them, because then you have to wait for somebody to be interested to even buy them. So I text him, I'm like, hey, like, this really isn't even fair. Like, I spent $100 on the security deposit, and yeah, it's gonna be reimbursed to me, but that's literally not what I signed up for. Like, I need some kind of communication. I need something, you know what I'm saying? And so finally I get a text back. Of course, he's all apologetic. He's like, I know how to make it up to you. Go ahead and sell the watch and I'll send you a check. You see why I had to do this story time, to avoid from making bad decisions, because this is 100% not a path that I would ever want to go down again. Like, what do you mean in like 2016 you're gonna send me a check when there's Square Cash, there's Venmo, which I was not banned from yet, there's Google Wallet, there's Pay. There are so many ways that you could send me money. You're gonna send me an archaic check? And plot twist, I have been scammed by check scams before, you guys. Like, this was not my first time. Like, my whole first year out of high school, I was scammed through like Craigslist jobs, all kind of like money laundering check scam in the mail for $4,000, and then you put it in your bank. Girl, you would have thought I would stop there. I did not. I was like, well, hurry up and send the check. Like, I thought that I was actually in control and I was actually being aggressive, because in my young stupid mind, the only thing that I heard was, okay, well, I can sell this watch. So how much am I going to sell this watch for? I will tell you a story within a story. This older black lady comes in. She could not pay her bills. She was trying to get her son off of her family plan. I was the only person there, and I'm thinking, we having this sister intuition. I see that she has the exact same watch, but like an older version of it or something like that. And I don't remember the exact details, but I'm like, look, I will sign you up for this family plan. You won't have to remove your son, and you'll be able to have service for this watch. That lady ended up not only getting a deal on her service, she ended up paying only $10 for that Samsung watch. That lady never paid me the rest, and she walked out with service for it. She walked out, she could make a call, she could receive a call, and she only paid me $10 for it. So not only did I get hustled once, I got hustled twice. 2016 was a really bad year. It was a really bad year. When the check came, that's when it sunk in, because I was stuck with all this stuff, finessed out of the most expensive thing that probably could have helped towards my debt. That was gone. And for $10. And finally this check for $4,000 come. A check that was more than we had even agreed to, which didn't make any sense. I'm just getting so angry as I tell this story, because I'm like, at what point would it have really not made sense? Like, all these flags, and at what point there was no point. There was none. There was nothing that he could have done. He could have just straight up texted me like, hey, I'm scamming you, and I would have been like, oh, well, can I get $500 out of the scam? Like, I would have still tried to find a way to win. Whoever he was, he really had his scam down packed because he knew how to bend enough, but just enough. Like, you could tell that there was a line. Like how I said, like, I was sending him other links to other places and he was like, no, Macy's. Like, he would do just enough. And when I got the check and I was kind of like holding that check hostage, and I'm like, the check looked exactly like every other check that I had ever been scammed with before. Like, the signature looked digitized. It did not look like a signature that had been actually signed. And anybody who's been hired and fired, you know what that final check looks like. Like, yeah, that signature looks like it was like stamped or something, but it still looks legit. Like, it doesn't look like it was just copied and like pixelated. Like, it was just a very suspect looking check. And I remember the situation that not only I but my other roommates were in. We were all like just looking over this check like, what should we do? Like, this is a lot of money. Like, even if we got a little bit of something out of it, like, it would benefit us. But because of the road that I had went down before, like, I was just harassing this guy. Like, we were literally getting into like text arguments because I was, to be honest with you guys, I was holding the check hostage. Like, I was just like, well, I'm not gonna cash it, I'll rip it up. I feel like that's so messed up because girls go on Seeking Arrangement and they're looking for help, they're looking for assistance, and somebody got this idea like, well, they got bank accounts and they're active and they're looking for somebody to send some money that way, so this could be a good scam. I don't know, but at least I got a taste of my best life only for one night. With that being said, that's the story of how I got scammed by a sugar daddy. If you guys like this story, go ahead and turn that thumbs up. Blue, support your girl. Get those fingers moving and let me know in the comments below what other story times you guys would want to hear from me, because since I ain't got no job, I got a lot of time on my hands. So make sure you guys turn that bell on for notifications, because for once in my life, I think I'll actually be uploading every single day. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time.